what I had to endure this weekend were an abundance of people talking a whole lot of stuff about me because they did not like what I had to say about Representative Jasmine Crockett.
You know, and I would put Stephen A. Smith on.
Yo, they listen. That's one thing I want y'all to understand, bro. Just because you make a lot of money, you cannot criticize women online. I want men to understand this. Even if the woman is wrong, even if she's delusional, do not do it. Because what's going to happen is other women are just going to defend her off GP because women defend all women. That's just how it works. And then this is the worst part. Other men are going to simp. Yes. Which means they're going to just say whatever the women are saying so they can get them them pats on the back. You know what I'm saying? That you're the one of the good guys type energy. So to Poetic Flacco, because he did a really good job of showing what happened, and a lot of things Poetic Flacco said was absolutely insane. Like in this video, he's going to correlate the confrontation Stephen A. had with LeBron, right? Now, mind you, people, Stephen A. was criticizing Bronny, which is a grown man that's currently playing professional basketball, right? And LeBron checked him and said, "Keep my son's name out your mouth," which I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if LeBron was at a bar, he probably would have put his hands on him. But that's besides the point. To Serena Williams' husband checking him because he had said something to the effect that Serena Williams crip walking at the Super Bowl last year to like despite Drake was showing Drake too much energy. And he said, if I had a woman, my woman wouldn't do that. Right. And so he was trying to correlate those two things, and they don't correlate. They don't correlate. But we're gonna get into it.
He got embarrassed by Serena Williams' husband, and then his own friends have been turning on him based on things he has said about Jasmine Crockett. Everywhere he goes is controversy, bro. Yo, I've seen more Stephen A. Smith hit pieces on TikTok today than I've ever seen in my entire life, bro. People are like finally waking up to who Stephen A. Smith is exactly. So let's just address the Serena Williams husband thing first, which like the problem with this is not the fact that he was kind of cowardice or kind of like bent the knee. It's the comparison to how he, in regards to LeBron James, where they have similar issues, or at least the problems that Serena Williams' husband had with Stephen A. Smith and will LeBron James have with Stephen A. Smith. It is similar, right? It's similar enough to where the reaction was supposed to be.
It's not similar. He was criticizing Serena Williams as someone's wife, right? And so the dude checked him as her husband. LeBron James checked Stephen A. Smith for doing his damn job. It is his job to talk about Bronny because Bronny plays professional basketball. It's not the same thing. You are insane if you think that's the same thing. If Bronny was a high school player, any type of amateur, right? If he was an amateur and he was critiquing him that hard, then that's not fair, right? Bronny is a grown man playing grown man basketball, and Stephen A. Smith's job is to talk about professional basketball. How is that the same? You see what I'm saying? Already the logic doesn't make any damn sense.
Be the same, okay? So Stephen A. Smith, when Serena Williams went on like the Super Bowl and crip walk for Kendrick Lamar, kind of teaming up with Drake's op to, to throw a shot back at Drake, who is her ex, Stephen A. Smith, Ryan Clark, and others essentially said, man, if that was my woman, Man, she wouldn't do that. If she did that, she'll be back with the ex and not me, bro. I ain't tolerating that.
I just want to say, the Serena moment for me.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just like, I want to.
Serena, like, let's just give her.
Well, you can say give her a props, but I'm just. But Shannon brought it up, so I'm going there. I'm going to be like, if I'm your husband, I'm like, why are you up there dancing or something?
I want my lick.
Trolling your ex.
Trolling your ex. And don't you mess up either, because I get my lick back on you too. I bet it like that.
But the Compton connection is the Compton. Yeah, RC, that's what I was going to say. The Compton connection.
She's from Compton.
No, we know.
Like
we know that.
Even if
did too.
RC, you and I both know. Even if she's not from Compton, everybody knows her and Drake were together at one point in time.
Right.
And it seemed like everybody wanted to get their lick back on Drake.
RC's, what Stephen A is saying, if he was in that situation and now he's married, he's not allowing none of that's happening.
Hold on, no.
That's what he said.
If I'm married and my wife is going to join trolling her ex, go back to his ass. Because clearly you don't belong with me. What you worried about him for and you with me?
To me, Stephen A. Smith ain't say nothing wrong, man. All right, Serena Williams is a Smith, Ryan Clark, and others essentially said, man, if that was my...
So, right, you heard it, right? You heard what Stephen A. Smith said. And you also heard Poetic Flacco agree. People, just because you make a lot of money does not make you less lame. That is the lamest thing I've ever heard in my life. If you are secure with yourself as a man, it does not matter what your woman is doing. If she's crib walking in the Super Bowl, right? Because she's from Compton and her ex is Drake. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You should care nothing about that because it doesn't have anything to do with you. But anyway, so that's what Stephen A. Smith said about Serena Williams. So then her husband comes on and he passive aggressively checks him and says, yo, I heard you're giving marriage advice, right? Are you married? And Stephen A. Smith was like, no, I ain't married. I'm not a part of that. I apologize, all that, right? And people got upset about this. It's amazing.
But I am not qualified.
For me. Is
Oh,
that
Here. But when Alex came on to check Stephen A. Smith about something where Stephen A. Smith was in the right about, to be honest, here's how Stephen A. Smith reacted. And it shocked everybody.
Well, also, too, Stephen A. Smith, I think you had some marriage advice for me. Is that right? Or
Well, you know what? Listen, I did it. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time. But I was hoping you were going to be here. I am not qualified. Married? Right. Oh no, not me. Well, I ain't qualified, my brother. I'm not qualified. I was going to ask because you hadn't been married before, right?
I am married.
No, Stephen. Okay. Yeah, because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build billion-dollar companies. And the reason I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies. Yeah. So I generally try to stay in my lane as advice
Then we'll talk marriage advice later. I'm going 13 years strong. We got
you.
Alexis, thank you so much. Athlos NYC, 2-night event in New York. Incredible. Can't wait to watch. I'm looking for a Tiffany's crown. Appreciate you, Alexis.
Appreciate you.
Stephen A. Smith bending the knee and his reaction.
So, as you can see right there, right? The dude passively aggressively checked him, right? It wasn't like keep my name and wipe out your mouth. No Will Smith energy, right? He didn't say so that's one. 2, Stephen A. Smith was at work. 3, I believe firmly that Stephen A. Smith, Ryan Clark, and Shannon Sharp were joking. I don't think they were taking it seriously, but they were being disrespectful, and I was insecure to them say that. But at the same time, the dude checking the dude, that's supposed to happen. And I think people forget because we're on screen and all that. If you say something about someone's woman and they check you, right? You have two options. You can back down or you can take on the drama. And he didn't want no smoke, you know? So I really can't fault him for not wanting no smoke because he was in the wrong for talking about that man's wife.
Caught a lot of people off guard. Now, my take is, listen, if Stephen A. Smith felt like he was wrong, then he has every right to bow down because nobody should defend a position they felt like they were wrong on. But people like Steven Jackson, who's been on the receiving end of one of the put the camera on me rants by Stephen A. Smith, was shocked to see Stephen A. Smith bending the knee to Alex. Now, Alex.
Oh, this is where it gets good, y'all. This is where it gets good. This is where it gets good. Sorry about this. This is where it gets good. So this older basketball player, right, that does commentating, does this weird pro-black correlation, right? So Serena Williams' husband is a billionaire and he's white. LeBron James is a billionaire and he's black. And he's gonna say, well, why did Stephen A bow down to the white billionaire and not LeBron James? Right? That's what they're about to correlate. And it's very weird that he went. That's the first thing that came to his mind. Will let you know what type of man this older basketball player is, right? Forget all the context about he's disrespecting someone's wife. For all the context of he knew he was wrong for talking about that man's wife, and they were all like joking, like it was some barbershop. Like that comment was more like a barbershop type commentary, right? So Stephen A. Smith knew he was wrong in this hand with the white man because he was coming at his wife. He's gonna correlate to LeBron James and Bronny being a grown-ass man playing grown-ass basketball and say, why didn't you come at LeBron James the same way? Maybe because LeBron James came at him disrespectful and aggressive.
Is a billionaire who, by the way, has connections to the bosses at ESPN. Stephen A. Smith knew not to act a fool in front of Alex, okay? But Steven Jackson took to his Instagram to call out Stephen A. Smith for bending the knee to Alex, but not bending the knee to LeBron, to him, and others who he was objectively wrong in whatever conflict they had.
Come on, Stephen A., bro. You get loud and all in your feelings about Braun. When Braun, he talking to a black billionaire, but when he talking to a white billionaire, you humble. And you come back on your show talking real respectful, mild manner, man. Hey, bro, listen, bro. And you dogging the black women. Like, bro, let's stay out of politics and stick to talking about sports you never played. All right? Just stick to doing that, bro. We not gonna vote for you if you talk. I heard you talking about running. You don't do that, bro. We not gonna vote for you. No, we're not. But check this out, bro. Stop, bro. Okay, you do not have the same energy for other people, but you got the lot of energy for Braun and black women and not everybody else. Well, stop it.
Towards the end, he's also upset about what Stephen A. Smith said about Jasmine Crockett, which we'll get to. But with the LeBron situation, why there's like a drastic difference is because after Alex kind of embarrassed Stephen A. Smith online, had everybody talking, like had him looking crazy, Stephen A. Smith followed up and went on his show and further apologized to Alex and said that he did nothing wrong and he was really humble and cool about it. It wasn't a Stephen A. Smith that we was used to.
People, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm trying. Yo, I'm trying. People are upset that he took accountability for what he did. That's weird to me. That is so weird. It's weird. The reason why I'm saying this because had Alex and him being in the same room, right? Say they were all in the barbershop together, right? and he saw Serena Williams doing a crip walk, and then he said that while Alex was in the barbershop, Alex would have punched him in the face. And I think Stephen A knows that, right? And so Stephen A is like, look, man, I apologize. That's someone's wife. And being respectful and you know, kind of acting like he got some sense, right? And people are taking this like, oh my God, you bow down to the white man. It's like, first of all, and let's just clear this up, right? Stephen A. Smith is one of the most genuine people that have a microphone. I'm gonna tell you why he's genuine. Because Stephen A. Smith never lies about his intentions. Stephen A. Smith says pretty much in so many words that he goes with what the boss says. So whoever's paying him, that's who his loyalty is. That's what his talking points are. And so when he says that, I can respect that because he's honest. He's not lying, right? That's who he's about the bag, right? But people are like, oh my God, you bow down to this white man. This is like, bro, it's some people are just stupid. That's why I think some people are just dumb.
And that was like a complete difference between how he treated LeBron James.
Glad that it didn't escalate or anything like that. He is her husband. He loves her dearly. They have 2 wonderful children together. And I have absolutely no issue with him whatsoever wanting to address that situation with me because that's her husband. And I certainly meant no disrespect towards him at all. I was just saying that men, knowing us as men, you know, if we're married and our wife is showing energy towards anybody else, even in a negative way, we're asking ourselves, if you're happy, why show that energy?
It doesn't matter why she's showing energy. Insecure man doesn't matter. It does not matter. Why do you care?
You know, that's it. But that's all it was. But I wasn't going to get into it on national television. I'm a professional. Now, if it had escalated and he wanted to get into it more, we'd kept the cameras rolling. I'd have said fine. But he was sitting there saying, you wasn't married, right? So, you know, you give him marital advice. That's how he framed it. And he says, I give advice about building companies because that's what I do, essentially implying that I'm not married. So who am I to say something like that? I'm saying paraphrasing. I think that's a fair comment on his part. I don't have to agree with it, but I took no offense to it.
Now let's compare the difference between how Stephen A. Smith reacted to LeBron James.
You're comparing him apologizing to someone's husband about disrespecting their wife, and now we're going to compare him doing his fucking job. Doing his job. His job is to criticize, critique, and compliment professional basketball players. The funny thing about this situation is LeBron James brought his sorry ass son into the league. That's LeBron James' fault. Everyone knows that watch basketball, that boy is not ready to be in the NBA. But LeBron James made it to where he came to the Lakers. And so, yes, because of the last name on his jersey and how he got into the league, people are going to critique him. But Bronny is a grown-ass man. This don't make no sense.
LeBron James checked Stephen A. Smith at a basketball game for saying things about his son, Bronny. Okay. LeBron never lunged at Stephen A. Smith. He never tried to hit Stephen A. Smith. He just told Stephen A. Smith, keep Bronny's name out your mouth. Keep Bronny's name out your effing mouth, right? Stephen A. Smith then proceeded to go on his show and say, if LeBron would have swung, I would have hit him back, right? And then he proceeded to do a press tour talking about how much he doesn't like LeBron James.
That man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately.
And we're like, where did that come from? There was no threats of him swinging on you. Where?
This is what I mean by some people are slow, right? When someone says, keep anyone's name out your mouth, that is a threat. That is a threat. We see what happened to Chris Rock, right? He didn't even get no fucking warning. He didn't even get no warning. He just got slapped. And so when I hear this, it's annoying because when someone tells you keep my name or keep my mom's name or keep my son's name, that means if you don't do it, something's bad's going to happen to you. That's a threat. And every black person knows it's a threat. But all of a sudden now we're playing, what do you mean? All he did was say hello. All he did was say a couple of words. LeBron James is 6'8". LeBron James is probably 250, lean muscle. If someone 6'8", lean muscle walks up to you and says, keep anything, my mom, my kid, whatever out your mouth, I'm going to take it as a threat too. And I'm going to be honest with you. They were on camera, right? They were on the court, but there's got to be places in the stadium where there's no cameras. But that type of stuff like that, as a man, that's not no play type stuff. They would have had to have a real conversation off the camera, because that, to me, you walking up and you doing that, and this is Stephen A's job, people. This is not like Bronny is not a regular person that plays amateur basketball. He plays for the NBA. Stephen A is an NBA commentator. Fucking stupid, man.
Where did this energy come from?
You see, I don't run and hide. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. I was never shitting on Bronny James. I wouldn't do that to the James family. I was talking about one person and one person only. We may never speak in life again.
That could help you pay Credit Karma.
You play, I watch, dissect, analyze, and broadcast. We ain't gotta communicate. We damn sure don't have to say hello to each other. We don't have to do none of that. We don't get along. And there's a multitude of reasons why. I've alluded to some of them, but we know what the biggest reason is. I ain't Shannon Sharp. It ain't GOAT status this way.
He brings violence into the picture, and then he completely reduces a father being upset at you for coming on national television time after time after time saying that Bronny don't belong in the league.
Bronny is a grown ass man. He does not deserve to be in the league without critique.
Bronny is this, Bronny is that. Why will Bronny be called up to play the game? Y'all trying to embarrass Bronny as if Bronny is this Make-A-Wish kid, right? Now some people think tolerate that.
Hold on, whoa. He is a make. Oh, I got this. Whoa. Hold on. Yo. What? Oh, Bronny is a Make-A-Wish kid, bro. Dude, Bronny played a handful of college games. In his college team, he was not the best player. He got to skip playing pretty much a whole season, got to get drafted by the Lakers, and he has a two-way thing. So like he could play for the G League team and he can play for the Lakers. That's a Make-A-Wish situation. Sorry about that, yo.
Some people think he's a Make-A-Wish kid. Cool, right? But you would understand if you think that why your father will want to check you.
No, I wouldn't. He's a grown ass man. I'll be honest with you. Listen, Stephen A should have put hands on him, bro. I would you don't walk up on me, bro, like that with that type of energy. You don't walk. No, I'm sorry. Stephen A should have did something to him. I'll be honest with you. You don't do that's disrespectful. If you gonna come and have a conversation, cool. But you better not do this. What? You not my daddy, nigga. You don't sign my checks. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Crazy.
But he reduces the conversation to LeBron is mad that I don't call him the GOAT. Man, cut it. Yo, you know how many people don't call LeBron a GOAT? You think LeBron is checking you in that fashion because you didn't call him a GOAT? Stop it, man. Cut it out, bro. Right? But it's a drastic difference. Now, I'm not gonna say that Stephen A. Smith don't respect LeBron. I think he respects LeBron somehow, man. But Stephen A. Smith has said time after time after time that he respects his bottom line. Everything he does is about the bottom line, right? Being subservient to power. That's Stephen A. Smith model for success, right? You bow down and bend the knee when it comes to power. It would appear that Stephen A. Smith has taken that same mindset and carried it over into politics, right? And that's why.
So, this point of the video, now he's going to go into Miss the politician, right? And he's going to give her some advice, right? This is why I said in the very beginning, never give women advice. Never. In this advice he's going to give her, he doesn't call her out her name. He doesn't disrespect her. He just simply gives her advice, right? Just objective advice. And he's a very successful man. Now, politics and entertainment are two different industries, but all he did was but this is the amount of stuff is about to happen to this dude. Well, as far as just people talking crap about him, it's amazing. Over just giving a woman critique and advice. Don't ever give them advice. Ever.
His friends, or shall I say former friends, are pissed off at him because the way they were talking about Stephen A. Smith on their podcast, they couldn't possibly be current friends. They probably had a falling out after that podcast. So Stephen A. Smith, his life motto is you bend the knee and you bow down to power to get your way. So he was giving Jasmine Crockett some advice on how to deal with Donald Trump. And Stephen A. Smith was critiquing how Jasmine Crockett expressed herself, but he was also critiquing her unwillingness to bow down and kiss the foot, right? To bow down and kiss the ring to get what she wants from Donald Trump.
Let me tell you what gets me annoyed. And I hope Jasmine Crockett is listening to this. By the way, she's welcome on the show. When you go on national television and you calling the president of the United States out of his name, and you're being all disrespectful, as a representative in this country, do you believe the citizens of Texas sent you there to do that? They don't like him either. I'm talking about those who voted for her in all likelihood. But because he is who he is and he is in that position, they expect you to go to Capitol Hill and figure out a way to maneuver yourself through that terrain to work in a fashion that's going to facilitate getting things done on behalf of your constituents. That's your job. That's your job. Excuse my language on Sirius XM, but it ain't your job to say he ain't shit. He ain't worth a damn. That's not your job. Anybody can do that. You're supposed to be figuring out a way to get things done.
Two things here. So first off, I've had my critiques in the past of Jasmine Crockett and her mannerisms, but fam, listen, bro. I came to the conclusion Donald Trump has changed the landscape of politics, right?
So y'all saw what he said, right? If you need to rewind, you can rewind it. Nowhere in there did he say anything negative about her being a woman and being black. Now, in this video, we're going to keep going further. There are going to be people that bring up, just like Stephen Jackson, that her skin color and her gender. And this is the reason why I'm an independent and I don't rock with the Democrat or the liberals at all, because this frustrates my mind. Right? Did he criticize her because she's a black woman? He criticized her because of the way she came at Donald Trump, right? And I think he thinks, right, her being a black woman, that maybe she would listen to his advice. Now, y'all know my motto: don't give women advice. Keep your mouth shut and let them figure it out for themselves. Do not do it. Because this type of stuff happens. I don't believe when he was saying this, and I could be wrong, he was doing it out of any malice or he was cooning for the white man or anything. I just think that he was thinking in himself, right? As Stephen A. Smith, I know what works for me. I know how to get $100 million from white people. If you go in there and you play to Trump's ego, Trump will give you what you want because Trump is egotistical, right? And that's all he was saying, right? Now, like I said before, politics is different from the entertainment industry. And so maybe that doesn't work, but that's what he was saying. And I believe, and I could be wrong, that he was saying it as help and not to disrespect or hurt her. And he thought because they were both black, maybe she would listen. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I thought. This is what I was thinking.
And what's acceptable. Donald Trump cusses. Donald Trump is unconventional. And so I had to realize, I was wrong, right? And if Jasmine Crockett wants to express herself, how she expresses herself or how she relates to, her audience and her demographic, she could do so. You know why? Because Donald Trump does the same thing. Bruh, Donald Trump, ain't taking no podum. And he's not giving you 20-syllable words, bruh. Donald Trump is direct to the point, man. Direct, bruh. He's telling you what he means, how he means it, and he's calling his ops son of a you-know-what, right? So he's cussing out his ops. He's disrespecting people too, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, the second part about it is Donald Trump is willing to negotiate, and if you're somebody who's representing your district or your people, you shouldn't disrespect Donald Trump because you should want to sit down and negotiate certain privileges or certain things that your people could benefit from. I hear it, right? I truly do. But when you get to a point where Jasmine Crockett is at where she has presidential hopes at some point. Now, do I feel like, those hopes are likely? Probably not. But Jasmine Crockett, if she believes, now she says this a lot, I don't know if she truly believes it, but if she believes that Donald Trump is a fascist, if she believes that Donald Trump is trying to take away certain liberties that as Americans we've enjoyed our entire history, well, not for black folks, but our history in America, if she believes that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, I'm not saying Donald Trump is. I'm saying if she believes that in her head, that she has a right, to fight it, right? That she has a right not to cave and not to bend the knee, all in the hopes of getting some shekels or getting something back in return, right?
Y'all, I'm trying. I am so trying. People, I firmly believe this. I firmly believe this. People just say and do things just without giving any real thought. And I'm talking about Poetic Flacco. I'm talking about what he just said, right? She has hopes of being a president, right? Okay. We had a black man president. People say he's black. I don't think so. But anyway, we had Obama, so maybe she has opportunity. Okay, fine. You calling him a fascist, and this is what I don't rock with these people. That does not help your position at all. You see what's happening with the mayor for Chicago. All they're doing is going back and forth with Trump, and it's just a giant war zone when it comes to ICE and Chicagoans, right? It's a whole bunch of fighting. But check this out. Trump sent people to Memphis. In 1 week, 300 criminals arrested. No fighting. No going back and forth with the mayor of Memphis and Donald Trump. Everything is smooth. It's so smooth They got the National Guard directing traffic. Memphis is getting clean. So, like, I get what he's saying. She should fight Donald Trump, but it's like, to what end? What is the strategy? Like, what are you hoping is going to happen? Are you hoping that the other Democrats are going to see that and reward you? And hopefully you'll get votes to have more power in the Democratic Party? Like, is that what it is? It's because what people don't understand about Donald Trump, he loves the fact you call him a fascist. Yes, he loves that you compare him to Hitler. He loves all this stuff. But you know why? Because Donald Trump loves attention. That's why he tweets a lot. He loves it. That's why he was tweeting before he was even president. He likes attention, and so he does not care. And so you calling him all these different things is going through one ear and out the other and boosting his ego. I'm not a politician. Maybe it's a strategy there. I'm not saying it. You know, maybe she will be the president calling someone a fascist.
And that's how I feel like, again, regardless of if you like her or not, that's how I believe politicians should operate, right? If you believe in something, you should fight for it. Now, if you don't believe that Donald Trump is that, then you shouldn't say it. If you don't believe he's a threat to democracy, then you shouldn't say it. You shouldn't be performative and theatrical, right? You should work with him and get things done. But if you truly in your heart believes he's this, then you shouldn't bend the knee to power. And again, even the Trump supporters, I think, can understand the concept of, if you believe the person in charge is bad and is a threat to democracy, you shouldn't bend the knee just because they're in power. You should fight it. Just like, when Joe Biden was in power, right? And the Biden administration was doing certain things that kind of threatened free speech. We wouldn't say, hey, Donald Trump, bend the knee to Biden because he's in power. He can kind of help you out and make sure you don't get charged with certain things. No, not at all. But people had a problem with this, and I've seen people who never criticized Stephen A. Smith have some words for Stephen A. Smith today, okay? So there's a podcast, I think it's led by Angela Rye, but they went ahead and discussed Stephen A. Smith, and here's what they had to say.
However, I will tell you that
Sorry, y'all. Listen, another thing that needs to die is men and women like panel conversations. That needs to go away. Because guess what's about to happen now? Women are going to complain and say, look, bad black man. And guess what the men going to do? They're going to tuck their head down and say, yeah, we know he's bad. This needs to stop. Listen, there's a lot of bad content on YouTube, right? A lot of bad content. But the worst content on YouTube is when we see men allow women to talk to them as if that woman is their mother. Like, when I saw this, I was so irritated. I had to rewind it multiple times because the way she was talking to these people as if she birthed these niggas. And this needs to die. I hope they don't do numbers. I hope it goes away very fast because this format of content needs to die. Men need to grow some nuts and have opinion of think on your own. Be your own person, black man, please. Jesus Christ.
there is a through line between the Ice Cubes and the Jason Whitlocks and the Stephen A. Smiths. And these individuals, and Ice Cube may be slightly different than the other two,
Slightly.
but
Yes,
these individuals have been around since we have been on this freedom struggle. There have always been individuals out there which exhibit behaviors of charlatans who utilize, some people are in it for the change and some people are in it for the change. Right. And I think that that's indicative. And they find the easiest path to the front of the line. And Stephen A. Smith is someone who doesn't have the depth to talk about House oversight or the appropriations process, right? And how you're able to bring resources back to your community or what Jasmine is doing. So he rather lampoon her or instead of having a constructive conversation. And so I've said what I've had to say about Stephen A. Smith in my book anywhere I can. I don't have a lot of use for him in the political dialogue. I think that there are individuals who he matriculated with at Winston-Salem State University that are extremely disappointed about the man he's become.
It's so disheartening to me. It's frustrating, one, because anytime we speak on this, it's like we, man haters and all this. But I feel such confidence in Black men. I've never bought into the idea that all these Black men are voting for Trump. Like, they vote overwhelmingly Democrat. We're pretty much in line with each other. What you all are saying is no, they are. And the data shows that there have been inroads among Black men. I want to ask why, because it is frustrating.
Why do Black men vote differently than Black women? Well, for one, as a Black man, our experience in America is completely different from yours. We are not aligned. We are not the same. You have our skin tone, but you do not have our experiences. As a Black man, we get pulled over when there's too many of us in the car. As a Black man, we get stopped and frisked. As a Black man, anytime we hear the helicopter over and they're yelling out what the criminal looks like, it sounds like me. Stop putting yourself in our world. You are not a Black man. You are a Black woman. Your struggles are completely different. We are Mars and Earth apart, period. What we want and what you want are two different things. You stand with white liberal women. That's what you stand with. And so all this BS you're talking about does not equivalent to a Black heterosexual single man. This is the reason why a lot of Black single heterosexual men are voting differently from you.
To me, and it feels heartbreaking, to be honest, because we are impacted by this system as well. It's not a matter of who's impacted worse. We're impacted differently. We sit at the intersection of being Black and being women. And so when men are frustrated with this system, it feels like they fight us. And I would put Stephen A. Smith in that category too. I'm mad at y'all for having joy. I'm mad at y'all for having success. I'm mad at y'all for surpassing us on college campuses. And so it's a small sect of men that are so angry and hurt that they're willing to align with the people who oppress us. What am I getting wrong?
This is another disingenuous conversation. So, on both sides, right, of the aisle, we have the white conservative and then we have the white liberal, right? Okay. I put white in front of both. Why do I did that? Because they are both white. And so when you say this goofy shit, young lady, when you're signing as a Democrat, you're still signing with the white man. Don't ever get that messed up. You are still signing with the enemy. Don't ever get that messed up. Just because your white man is blue and mine's is red, it's the same. Don't ever get that messed up. Now, on your side, you guys fight for rainbow rights. You guys fight for gender stuff. Social programs that don't benefit Black men. That I actually pay into. We just went over how they slashed EBT and all that stuff, which I pay into because I'm a single Black man, so I pay the most. Right? And DEI, which I don't benefit from either because that goes mostly to women, rainbow, and white women. So where on your side do we get anything? Nothing. Zero. Right? It's amazing.
Because if you listen to Stephen A. Smith and you find anything other than some absolute pure self-hating little dick energy nonsense from that half-witted idiot basking in the non-existent rays of his own ignorance, it is sad to me that he even gets an audience of black men. Why aren't black men right now saying, F Stephen A. Smith, we banning him, we not listening to his podcast, we're not watching his show.
This is why I'm talking about talking to the people on the panel. Cause she ain't talking to me like that. She talking to them like that. Like, why ain't y'all telling Stephen A. Smith shut the F up and make him irrelevant, right? And see how she was a little boy in these dudes. See how the energy was like, I'm disappointed in you guys. You should be doing better, black man. I don't understand how these black men could sit there and take that type of energy. Listen, I have one mom, right? One mother. And my mother, right? She didn't even talk to me like that, bro. Like just as a grown man, I would have got up and I would never sat down. Like I said, that sitting down in the panels and all that stuff is goofy, some goofy energy type stuff. And it allows these women to say and talk to you in such a disrespectful way. Now, this is where it gets really good, right? This is where it gets good. Willie D, a famous rapper, grown black man, had to respond to her. This is embarrassing. One, because Willie D is older than her. Two, he felt the need, compelled to say, yes, I did. I hold him accountable as a grown man older than her. And you see why more black men are walking away from this goofy shit. Walking like, what? Are you serious? Now, far as taking Stephen A. Smith serious, if you like Stephen A. Smith, I don't know you. I don't know nobody that watch Stephen A. Smith. He has an audience. Someone's watching because he's got $100 million contract. Someone's watching him, but I ain't. After him and Skip broke up, I don't watch First Take. He's not entertaining to me. The only thing entertaining about him was him and Skip arguing. And then it became Skip and Shannon, and that became entertaining. And now that's gone. And now we just watch Shannon. That's all we really. I watch Shannon. I don't watch Skip at all. I watch Shannon. I watch Cam the rapper and a little bit of Cam Newton. Cam Newton's kind of corny, but I watch those are the three. No, and I watch First Things First. And sometimes The Herd when they have Tom Brady on, right? I don't watch anything with Stephen A. Smith because he's not entertaining to me. I don't watch him. But we're going to go to Willie D and then we'll get off because this Willie D is old enough to be probably her father. Bowing down to somebody just because they're a woman and they have a microphone.
So this is what Tamika Mallory had to say. Black men, I have a question. I see a lot of great commentary from many of you on Stephen A. Smith's ignorant statements time and time again. This time he disrespected a powerful black woman who's putting her life in danger fighting for us. At what point will you all lead the charge to turn him off? And over here, I did respond to Tamika's post. I don't rock with him at all. However, for many sports fans, it's hard to turn off someone like Stephen A. Smith because he's not just a commentator, he's a caricature. Networks know that polarizing personalities drive engagement. Whether you agree with him or not, he's giving people something to react to, and reaction equals ratings. The business model of modern sports media isn't built on accuracy, it's built on emotion. Who can make you yell at the TV or post a clip online? It's easy to avoid his podcast, but being on a huge platform like ESPN's First Take makes it harder to escape him. The show mixes him in with guests and co-hosts people do like, such as Shannon Sharpe, professional athletes, and celebrities, or whoever's across the table that day, so he stays in the mix by association. Even if you tune in for someone else, you're still getting Stephen A. front and center, weaving his coconut ass into every debate and every highlight. To me,
the fact that he had to say all of that is a complete embarrassment on black men. I don't even like talking like this, but it's like, this is why I stepped away from the plantation. This girl is his daughter's age, probably. Like, it doesn't matter why Stephen A has a microphone. We're not paying him. Now what she's going to do, because she has the power over this black man because he's an idiot, she's going to be like, I see what you're saying, but it's not enough for me. But we need for you to hit him in the pockets, right? Stop watching his shows. As if Willie D or whoever has the power to stop his audience. What people don't understand, right, is that Stephen A. Smith has been on TV probably for 30 years. I don't know exactly, right? He has a large fan base, and we don't even know if it's primarily black people. We don't know. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's probably a lot of older black people because he's on ESPN, right? Most of us don't even watch ESPN. If it ain't got sports on there, I'm not watching sports talk. Maybe Pat McAfee, if it's on the gym, if it's in the gym, like he comes on and I'm on a treadmill, I'll watch that. But I don't even watch Pat McAfee. I don't even watch him, bro. Like, if I want to watch some sports, I already told you the 5 channels I watch. I don't watch ESPN like that. There's nothing on ESPN I like. Back in the day, I used to have this highlight where this dude would make sound effects for the juking and stuff. That was fun. But like, no one was sitting there and like listening to these old people that don't fucking play sports anymore talk about sports. Sorry, we don't do that anymore. Not in our generation. But watch how she tells him, that's not enough, boy. We want more. Goofy ass nigga, man.
could reply with this actionary statement. Willie D Live, I appreciate everything you wrote. You have been consistent in calling out his BS. I would only offer this. The way to deal with him is to be disciplined and hit the people who employ him. They are responsible. We always talk about building our own. Perhaps there needs to be more sports commentary on some of your pages so people have somewhere else to turn. ESPN needs to know he does not represent us, and his attacks on black women are punishable by financial loss.
Stephen A has all type of black women work on his show as the moderators. On ESPN, there's a lot of black women talking about sports. The level of just when are black men going to stop bowing down to people? Like, when are you going to grow so nuts? Like, when is this going to happen for you guys? I don't understand. That's why I don't like to associate with it, because it's like, bro, even if you don't like, because we don't, like I said, we don't like this nigga. I'm not going to explain my taste in sports talk to anybody. Whoever I like is what I like. This was a bad look, black man. This is a bad look. I'm out.